Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Happiness Hacks for the Post-Pandemic World from the universe of Lord Shri Krishna. Now today I'm focusing on a very sensitive topic. A lot of us in lockdowns have not been the easiest people to be around. Am I right? And I've actually interviewed a lady, a very noble lady from Bangalore. Her name is Kulsum Shadab Wahab. When I was researching my book about relationships called Mind the Gap, and I interacted with her teams who were assisting women who were being impacted by abuse at home during lockdown from their spouse. And the kind of abuse we're talking about is a man wanting to dominate the television during the working hours, the daytime hours, because he was stuck at home, and watching content inappropriate for children. And if the wife said, listen, this is not content that you want your kids to watch, they would be drinking and they would be getting abusive with the wife. And so many of these wives were battered and then they needed to seek some shelter. Now, this is a tragic fallout that we may consider we need people around us all the time, but we're not always the best to one another, in fact, when we are family. And I need us to contemplate that this is actually creating a kind of a karmic pattern or a karma that you will have to deal with at some point. So how you treat a woman in your life is very central to your own forthcoming happiness. The lighter, the better, the happier she feels, that's where the gods actually are. It is in that household that the goddess herself will be present. But when you treat the woman in a shabby way, when you are miserly, when you're not supportive of her vision, when you're maybe curbing her freedoms and her capabilities, if you're making her some kind of a domestic slave, and then you're making her the punching bag, Krishna does not take that lightly. The world of Krishna says that that kind of karma can wipe out years and lifetimes of other good karmas that you may have done. So I'm reading to you an excerpt from the Mahabharata when Krishna's wife Rukmani asks him that, you have come back victorious, yes, but what kind of a moral victory was it when you killed such righteous heroes on the battlefield? Heroes like Bhishma Pitama. Okay, and you've been party to the killing of Guru Dronacharya, who trained both the Pandavas and the Kauravas. And these are men who are legends in their own right. Bhishma Pitama took a vow of celibacy to fulfill his father's promise to a fisherwoman's father that there will be no other child in succession. He was actually the legitimate king after his father. But because his father wanted to marry this fisher girl, and had promised, and the father took a vow that no other person will inherit the throne but my daughter's son. So Bhishma Pitama took that vow of celibacy that I will never marry and I will never claim the throne as mine. Now these are men of great self-sacrifice and great nobility. And so Krishna avoided answering Rukmini for a long time. But she persisted, seemed to be a very bright lady, Krishna's wife, and she persisted. She said, I really need to understand. So Krishna said, no doubt they had a lifetime of righteousness behind them, but they both had committed one single sin that destroyed all their lifetime of righteousness. Rukmani asked, and what was that sin? And Lord Krishna replied, they were both present in the court when Draupadi was being disrobed, and being elders, they had the authority to stop it, but they did not. This single crime is enough to destroy all righteousness of this world. Imagine what he is saying, a single crime of humiliating a woman, of putting her through this kind of degradation, of treating her like a piece of meat, a piece of property. That alone is enough to bring down the level of righteousness in the entire planetary orbit, in the entire planetary energy, the collective field. Now, think of what you're doing to the women in your life. You take them for granted. Are you being casual about things? Are you non-committal after having a lot of fun with a lady? What kind of treatment are you meting out to a woman who loves you? It's very important to think about it. Rukmini asked, but what about Karna? He was known for his charity, and no one went empty-handed from his doorstep. Why did you have him killed? And Lord Krishna said, no doubt Karna was known for his charity. He never said no to anyone who asked him for anything. But when Abhimanyu fell after successfully fighting an army of the greatest warriors and he lay dying, he asked for water from Karna, who stood nearby. There was a puddle of clean water where Karna stood, but not wanting to annoy his friend Duryodhan, Karna did not give water to a dying man. In doing so, his charity of a lifetime was destroyed. Later in battle, it was the same puddle of water in which the wheel of his chariot got stuck, and that led to his end. And you remember that was that very pathetic scene of this young warrior who's actually the son of the god, the sun god, and was Kunti's illegitimate son. Through some miracle mantra that she had, she used to call the gods and have children by them. And he was the son of Surya, so he was born with protection, right? The Kavach and the Kundali. And there he was pathetically trying to get his chariot out of a puddle, and he lost his life. He got fired by arrows, and that was it for Karna. So all these are karmic repercussions of acts that, in fact, they were passive. They did not take positive action, and even that leads to karmic consequences. So when you think of the scale of rapes in India, when you think of what happened with poor Nirbhaya, who was stripped and on the road trying to get help, she and her friend trying to get help to go to hospital, and many cars just passed them by. You have to imagine what kind of karmic debt now those people have, the ones who could have helped. And Duryodhan, of course, the actual scene, that horrible scene in the Mahabharata, which has been created again and again for television series and for the movies, where Draupadi is subject to this anger, the mad anger. Maybe at some point she said something that offended Duryodhana, and so for revenge sake, when she was lost in a gambling game by the Pandavas to the Kauravas, and it was a game entirely done by deceit, she was dragged into the court by Dushashan, and they made this wicked plan, Duryodhan and this wicked uncle Shakuni, that now that she is our property, we can do what we want with her, and we want to now strip her in front of the court elders, the gurus, everybody. Now luckily for Draupadi, she had a very close bond with Krishna. It was like a brother-sister bond. And at one occasion, he had injured his finger when he was flying kites on Mahasankranti, and he started to bleed. So Rukmini ran to get a piece of cloth to help him bandage his finger, and somebody else ran and sent her help to get a bandage. But Draupadi just ripped a part of her sari and tied it around Krishna's finger and curbed the bleeding. And Krishna blessed her and said, in your moment of distress, I will also be there for you. And so it happened that when they were trying to unravel the sari, not only did it become an endless production, like the fabric just kept growing and growing and growing, and she of course was turning and turning and saying, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, save me. But what was saving her is the new fabric was coming out of the pallu which she had torn to help Krishna in his time of need. So the new sari fabric was being churned out through that part of her sari. Very fascinating story. So basically we need to be extremely careful not to be abusive, insensitive in thought, word and deed towards womankind in particular, because Krishna said it so beautifully in one of the series that I was watching. He said, a woman is Aradhya. She is adorable. So that is the meaning of Aishwarya Rai's daughter's name, Aradhya. Woman is Aradhya. Woman is Janani. Janani means the bringer of life into the world. She has so many beautiful divine qualities that if you hurt woman, you are going even deeper than hurting a divine male, like a Rishi Muni or anyone like that. Like in the Sindhi tradition, they believe that one single woman, they call her the Nyani, is equivalent to 100 Brahmins. That is the actual spiritual power and value that has been allotted to womankind. So when you beat up your wife, or when you hurl abuses, or when you're not generous with her, you are not incurring karma that's going to help you in any way in the future, going forward. And I've interviewed a lady called Kulsum Shada Wahab. During this pandemic, she actually has written something about the shadow pandemic, the side effect of people being bunched up in the house. It's been very sad, but a lot of housewives were victims of domestic violence. And what happened there is that the man wanted to watch pornography in one instance, because I interviewed some of the volunteers working with the Hotur Foundation, and they were providing a shelter to these women who were being abused at home during lockdown. And they would say things like, the man wants to drink and he wants to watch pornography because he's been laid off from work and there are issues about money. But he should consider that there are children at home who don't want to see him drunk and who don't want to be seeing that kind of content. So they were facing a lot of issues during the pandemic. So all this wisdom from the ancient universe and the stories of Lord Krishna are highly relevant in the pandemic era. We may go to a third phase of lockdown. Please do not treat the woman in your life like doormats and abuse them, and just mistake their love for something that you take for granted. And on that very, very deep note, I take your leave for this episode with Lord Shri Krishna, wisdom from the world of Shri Krishna. Lots of love.